Hello friends, welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're going to be making fudge. Alright, to start with, we are going to spray the container we're going to put our fudge into and actually push in some wax paper, so this will make it easier to release the fudge once it's set up in the refrigerator. So spray lightly and then tuck in your wax paper all the way around the edges until it forms the shape of the container you're using. Make sure you leave a little bit of a lip off the side because that's what we're going to use to lift up the fudge once it's done. Now we are going to cut up 3 cups of chocolate, which we are going to put in a bowl to melt. So go ahead, and if you have little morsel pieces, they're fine, you just put them in the bowl to melt them. Otherwise, I had block chocolate, so we're cutting that up into slivers so that way it will melt faster in the microwave. And you're going to add to this a can of sweetened condensed milk. Just pour that over top of all the chocolate that you're using. Now, sometimes it's better if you use a darker chocolate with this, because once you put the milk into it, it is going to lighten it up a bit. And once you get all the sweetened condensed milk out of your can, you are going to be adding at least a tablespoon of vanilla extract to this. Once you get this all done, you're going to put it into the microwave and run it for at least 2 minutes to melt this. It may take 2.5 or so. Just check it every 30 to 40 seconds and stir it up a little bit to make sure that you don't burn your chocolate. And when you get done, it'll look something like this. So once you have it stirred up a little bit, you are going to add about a half a cup of mini marshmallows or less. It depends on how fluffy you want this to be, or you can do what I did and use a little bit of marshmallow fluff. And once you get it in, you're going to stir it until this breaks up completely. Now, even with the marshmallow fluff, I use the equivalent of about a half a cup. So stir it through, get it mixed all through your chocolate. It's going to take a couple minutes to stir this completely through, because as you stir it, you're going to see that it's breaking up, but it does take time to do this, and it will change the color of your chocolate and make it much lighter. Make sure you scrape the sides when you're doing this. We want to make sure that the marshmallow is completely mixed into the chocolate and that you don't have pieces of it floating through here and there. Now, as you can see, after a couple minutes it does stir through, and then you're going to take it and pour it into the prepared container we have that's going to end up being refrigerated after this. You need to leave this in the fridge for at least an hour or so once you're done, to make sure that it sets up and hardens a bit, because this stuff is going to be really hot when it comes out of the microwave, so you do need to give it time to cool down and refrigerate. So once you get all of it out of your mixing bowl, spread it out kind of smoothly, and then you have the option of putting toppings on this. I'm going to use about a half a cup of walnuts. You don't have to use this if you don't like walnuts. You could use other different things. I mean, it depends on what you want to put on it. If you are using nuts like I am, sprinkle them over the top evenly, but once you get them on top, you might want to press them down into it a little bit, so that way they hold their space once they're actually going into the refrigerator. And when you're done, lift from the sides, and you can pull the wax paper straight out of this, as I'm doing right here, and then you're going to peel back the edges, and it's a little effort. You can get them back without tearing them, and it should pull right down. And once you get them down like that, all you need is a large knife to cut across, and you have pieces of fudge. And this is what it looks like when you're done, and these are really a great treat for the holidays or any day. Alright, so to start with, you're going to take whatever container you're going to put your fudge into to cool and harden. And we're going to spray this with a little bit of cooking spray and then put wax paper in it. The point of this is when you do this, you can easily get your fudge out of the container. So if you spray the bottom of this and then you put your wax paper in, it's going to kind of glue the wax paper in place. Then what you want to do is just push this as close to the sides as you can and make sure that it's folded over a bit. And this way, when it's time to pull out your fudge later, you just pull these edges and you can pop it straight out of this container. So to do this today, we're going to need a container of peanut butter 16 ounces and a container of vanilla frosting, also 16 ounces. Make sure it is not one of those whipped topping kind. We don't want that. And now you're going to take the lids off and then take off the seals. Make sure you leave nothing on the top of these containers because they're going in the microwave, and you don't want foil in there because if you put it in the microwave, it is not going to be pretty. So once you've got all of the foil off, we're going to put the peanut butter in for 1 minute, and it comes back like this. It's very soft and runny, and that way you can get it out of the container using a spatula, spoon, or whatever. And you're going to get this all into your bowl. Shouldn't take but a minute to get it out because this will be runny. That's the whole idea of heating it up like this, is to get it out of the container easily. And once you're done with that, you're going to do the same thing with the icing, in which you're going to put it in for 1 minute in the microwave. And when it comes back, it's going to be this bubbly, really frothy looking white mess. However, you're going to pour this in, and what's really cool when you pour this in, it looks like you've just made a coffee or something, but it's just really neat to look at. Get everything out of the icing container, and then we are going to stir this up with our spatula. So just make sure you get it all in there. And once it's in the bowl, we want to go ahead and stir this through until everything becomes the color of the peanut butter. We don't want to see any of the white, so that means scrape your sides, scrape the bottom of your bowl. You want to make this a consistent, just that kind of like tannish color that peanut butter is. We don't want anything looking white. So this will take about a minute or so to stir to get it completely through. And once you get it completely to the one color that you know it should look like, then we're going to pour it into the pan that we already made up with the wax paper. Now when you're pouring this in, try to get it in as evenly as possible. That means push it into the corners. Make sure that the surface is kind of smooth. It doesn't have to be perfect, and yes, there can still be ridges on top or whatever. But the best thing about this is it's just going to pour in, you're going to smooth it out, and it's going to go to the refrigerator for an hour. So that way it has plenty of time to cool down and harden. Sometimes maybe it's better to leave it in there for more than an hour. At an hour you can use it. But I kind of leave mine in a little longer sometimes because I like my fudge a little harder. And just make sure you get everything out of your bowl in here and smooth it out. And this is literally all there really is to making this really quick and easy fudge. And this is great if you're having a party or something for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. It's really fast, takes no time to get it together, and then it's great. And yes, I did just taste that, but it has a great taste. So when it comes back from the fridge, it'll look something like this, and you just pull on the wax paper, and as you can see, it'll pop out. It's really not that hard to do, and that's one of the greatest things about it. It's like you don't have to fight it to get it out of your container or mess up your fudge or whatever. And I usually use a large knife to cut across this in both directions, and you can make squares whatever size you want. Just cut it back and forth. Now, if there are some of your edges that are a little rough and they don't look as nice as the other pieces, you can cut them and trim them down. That's the best way to snack on them, and that means you get a little treat out of this as well. But see how they pop off the knife? They are just in perfect squares, and this is wonderful. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out the Southern Mountain Kitchen website, where you can get a free recipe, check out the cookbooks available from the Southern Mountain Kitchen, and if you'd like to, you could order a cookbook at a discounted price, cheaper than Amazon, with shipping that is also cheaper than Amazon. So if you get a chance, check it out. And I hope you have a great day.